Hey, it's Builder Janie Pendleton, and today I'm going to teach you how to stain a fiberglass front door. Okay, this is from Mastercraft. This is already been sanded. You just want to take, we're hanging siding today too. So you just want to take something like this and you just want to lightly hit and burnish off any of these little pieces. Go ahead and sink in, with your door will come some little tabs. Just go ahead and fill in those screw holes right here and kind of burnish that off and get that off there. Right here we had some pencil marks from where we used a pencil to lock this up at night. So we scratched that off. This is just one of those foam No. 0 pads. Here we got a gel stain brush. You can also use the foam brush, that's fine. But here we're using a brush particular made for stain that has gel in it, okay? And these are inexpensive. I think I paid about $2 for this, $2.50. Then here we have our Minwax Stain Gel, and there's other brands on the market that works just fine as well. This one had the antique maple collar that I wanted to match that gate that we built last year, and it matched the deck. So we're putting some black strapping and some caveats on this. So we're going to give this a nice castle door look, and we're going to show you how to do that next. But and probably post a link on here on the video on how to give this that old-fashioned, old-world look. Okay? So meanwhile, this is called Antique Maple. It's a Minwax stain. It's a gel stain, and we're going to be using that. And now you don't want to shake this up. We're going to actually use our paddle, and we're going to get this stirred up. Got you a little bit better position here at the sun. I've got the sun at my back today, so there was really no angle that I could reach in here. Now I've got my hair tied up here. Keep it from getting into the stain in case there's a breeze. We don't want our hair flying in there. Want to wear a mask. Okay. Oops. I've done this so many times that I'm sensitive to a lot of the stains and the varnishes because my parents owned unfinished furniture stores down in Indianapolis, and I was raised around varnishes and finishes, and my dad just died of cancer, and my dad's actually the inventor of the epoxy. So so all of you who have put down epoxy floors, we, as growing up as children back in the early 70s, we had the very first epoxy floor. It was a ceramic coat floor, and my dad was putting them in like the pyramids down in Indianapolis, the boys' school down south of Indianapolis, hospitals, Wishart Hospital, St. Vincent's, you know. So whenever you walk on a floor, especially back in the 70s and 80s, those floors are, some of those floors are still in. The pyramid still has the floors. Castleton Mall, Keystone Mall. My dad put those floors in. So so I was raised in the business, but then they went on to retire and to finish furniture. They had furniture stores. And that was a really interesting way to grow up because my dad was quite the inventor of finishes and things. But he did die of cancer, and we'll never know if that had anything to do with it. He did smoke, so we don't know. But I still wear a mask, and I suggest you do too. I've been around it so much, it just makes any kind of silicone or anything like that, and polyurethanes make me extremely ill, and I mean definitely ill. So I have to wear a mask around it. So if you're pregnant, nursing a baby or anything like that, wear a mask. You know, man up and put on a mask, okay? It's fine. Now we're just going to open the lid on this. My son and my husband are putting on my vinyl siding today. So we're multitasking all of this. And since only two people really need to be up on that ladder. See, that's a pretty collar. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to sit that aside over here. And I've just sanded this with my my block sander, my 000 sanding block. It's black. We just kind of got a lot of these spots here where we filled those nail holes, those screw holes around the window. We got that. We hit any pencil marks. Okay, we got that done. Just a slight brushing of the sand brush. You can take a tack cloth or a cloth and you can kind of wipe this down. Now this is pretty thick stuff. See that? Very thick stuff. So you just want to be sure and stir it really, really well. So when I get done stirring this, I'll be right back. Need a couple of rags here. Just an old t-shirt work. Now we stirred our stain really well and we've got it really smooth. It's a nice thick consistency. Okay, dip into that. You want to penetrate this in your brush first, wipe it off, then penetrate it back in your brush again, okay? That helps get that down inside your bristles. Now we're just going to take it like this and we're just going to kind of go with the grain here. Be sure and go with the grain. Hit down in here like this. When the sun's shining, it's hard to see that you got it all. You don't want any pooling. And this right here will dry pretty quickly, so you just want to work in sections. I've got the sun beating on me dead straight ahead here, so that can make it a little bit more difficult. See that? Just go with that grain. Just like that. And kind of go back over it again. Here, just kind of hit with the grain, just like that. The grain, just like that. Now, it just depends how dark you want this door, how long we're going to leave this on. Now, I like that color, so I'm going to leave it on for a few minutes. In fact, I'm going to kind of tilt it out of the direct sun here so that way it doesn't dry it so fast. And I can kind of see what I'm doing here a little better. Okay, we're just going to keep going like this. Try not to mess up the work we've got. And it just takes just a light touch. See that? I'm not pressing real hard like this. I'm just giving it a nice light touch. Okay, we're going to do these last. We're going to kind of come in here and hit down in here. Make sure we have all of this. It's too hot for that. I'm in the direct sun here, so I'm hot. Especially since I'm wearing black. Big mistake today. I should have worn a lighter color. We were having 70-some degree weather this week, so. It's a little bit cooler in the mornings, and this fall like this, October, mid-October, you got to kind of dress in layers, don't you? Okay, so we just make sure that we have it all filled in. Make sure there's no blotches of anything. Go over it a few times. That's fine. Then we want to hit this center piece here, right there. Then we can hit that center piece. It just takes just a little bit of gel stain on there, not much. See that? Go with the grain. The grain goes up and down, right there. So go with the grain, a light touch. Perfect. We're going to kind of go over this again. And with the grain, just a light touch. I'm barely touching that. Okay, this right here looks good. Let's look at that. See how that looks. See, I got some blotchiness going right there. Right there. I don't want that. Okay, knock that out. Just take some effort. Just a little while. Now you keep going over it. Make that look nice and smooth. And then once you get it how you like it, we want to leave it alone, okay, because we don't want to have dark spots. Okay, so now we're going to leave that alone. Make sure you blend in where it's kind of bubbling, any place where you think it might be bubbling up. You don't want to have brush marks. And that's easy to do, especially in the sunlight. Alright, so I'm just going to finish this up and we'll be right back. Okay, we're about halfway up the door. And at this stage, you can see where it's starting to get, it's just tacky. You don't want to touch it, but you can see that it's tacky. It's not quite as shiny. And this is a stage where you definitely don't want to go back over it and touch it. That's why even with the sun hitting it, I kind of had to open the door a little bit. At this stage, I'm just going to kind of hit the sides here. There'll be like a little crease down the side here you want to kind of hit. This is drying pretty quickly. So we're just going to go over it. Make sure that we don't have any bubbles or anything like that anywhere. I'm ambidextrous, so I can kind of hit this both sides. It's always been to my advantage. I changed shirts so I could, that sun was hitting me, and man, Alright, so it's almost time for me to re-stir this. You want to stir your stain about once every 20 minutes. So on this, we went over it probably about 3 or 4 times with a very lightly wet brush. And that was just to get all the globs off, because this actually will seep in, then it will seep back out again, okay? So we want to make sure that there's no blobs or anything in these corners. Sometimes right underneath this little line right here, you'll see where it'll all drain and kind of start dripping on right there. You don't want any drips, and you don't want any lines coming here. You want to go with the flow of the grain. Now look how beautiful that looks. Isn't that just gorgeous? And with that black strapping and the black hardware on here, this is going to be absolutely a stunning door. Now again, just going to kind of follow our brush line here like this. That grain kind of runs that way a little bit, and then we're going to go back over it like that again. Make sure we get the front of that, just a light hit to make sure we get the front. Push that stain through here like this. You're going to work with it while it's wet, so you got to work pretty quickly here. And I just put a little stain on the tip and just kind of work it across here first, and then I come back in here and push a little bit harder, working that stain. Now, when you get to a section like this, you're going to want to split it in half. I came up to about right here, and then you're going to want to work. You're going to want to work in long lines. I just kind of go like this, and I work in long lines, just like that right there. See, the grain on this piece runs this way, so I'm staying away from that. And then again, I'll lightly go over it several times. And you can see after I put it on, it's really shiny, and it actually comes back out. And I want to move that stain and that varnish on there because it has the finish already in it. I go back over this again, where I got my little fingerprint there. You can see it. I try to stick my finger in the hole here, trying to hold on to it. Sometimes I forget. Okay, keep working that. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're just going to keep working the stain. Remember, long strokes on these long boards. You just want to barely touch it. Okay, like that right there. Just takes a few minutes, take some patience. You'll have it. Now I'm going to finish this top part, swing the door around, and we're going to do the other side. And I'll be right back. Now, a door doesn't get any sexier than that. All you got to do now is put your black straps on here. We'll put our little clavettes on here. They're like little round, or actually ours will be square. And we'll have those on the door, and we'll give this a nice castle look with all the black straps and the black hardware. It'll look really, really nice. We want this to have a nice garden cottage look. John's adding the coach lights now. That's my husband doing the electrical work. And this will be just gorgeous. Though this still has to finish drying. It'll look a little blotchy while it's drying. That's normal. This should dry pretty evenly if you've done it right. Now we're going to go through and we're going to do the back side and add the hardware when it dries. Our stain is still nice and stirred up here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to finish this outside window right here, this octagon window. Isn't that just a gorgeous window? Now when you're working with somebody else, this is what it comes in handy to be ambidextrous. Come right down in here. Don't need much stain on here, just a little. Don't need much stain on here, just a little. Bring those bristles right down just like that and right across. There we go. Second stroke. Lighten it up. There you go. I'm going to go back and I'm going to fill in the Just took a nail punch and punched in the nails. That's fine. I'll come back through here and I'll fill that in with some colored wood dough, or if I can't find any, I'll just add a little stain to my wood dough and then fill it in and sand it off and then give it another coat of finish. This already has the finish in it. And you know, if it worked for your outdoor front door, you know it'll work for your windows. Okay, there we go. I'll just keep doing this, and when I get done, our window will be done. And that will be it for finishing and painting. Okay, so I got the door stained, and I got the window surround stained here on the octagon window. Tell me that isn't sexy. Matches the door really well. This just really made this area pop. Here, just looks awesome. I wish you could see this in person. Get back off of it a little bit so you can see it a little better. Isn't that beautiful? Matches that door really well. This is Chef and Builder Janie Pendleton, and I hope you come along with us on our next video where we do the electrical wiring on the interior and we pass inspections, HVAC, and we get her done. And I also show you how to lay your patio and sidewalk leading up to your front door of your new cottage room addition. Swing around the sides so you can see the other side of the house here where the vinyl siding is going up. And then this is the back side of the room addition. We still have yet to bring a sidewalk. We have to backfill this, bring the sidewalk and a patio around here, but we can't do that until this settles for the deep earth bunker that comes out here into the yard. Okay? This is Chef and Builder Janie Pendleton, and I hope this has inspired you to come along for the next videos. Blessings! Hey, it's Builder Janie Pendleton.